We were interested in using 3D printing, and we couldn't afford the printers or the materials. And so we hacked the printer and developed our own materials using very inexpensive, very ubiquitous materials. One of our goals is to make this technology accessible to more people. We have a bit of an activist agenda about that, and that is something that underlies a lot of our work.
Most 3D printing is plastic, and while we've done a lot of experimentation with plastic, our main interests are to think about how we can use materials that are recycled or upcycled or sustainable. Voila, 3D printed curry. We were speculating on what the future of building with earth would be. We started trying to print clay, so that led us into 3D printed ceramics. Here in the print farm, we have an array of different kinds of 3D printers. We have printers that can extrude clay, and you can see a range of our experiments that we've created over the years. The thing that we get most excited is how the tool allows us to think about new possibilities for endangered species habitats and coral reef restoration.
What I'm printing right now is one of the coral seeding units. It's printed out of what will be a very strong clay so that it won't break easily when it's dropped onto the reef. This is a very rapid method of printing, just maybe 5 or 10 minutes. This was a collaboration with Seacor, and they have a unique perspective. Instead of making gigantic coral reefs, their idea is to make these small seeding units so that the coral will have genetic diversity and you won't have the same species growing on the reef. It's printing these loops, and this is the part where we hope the coral larvae will settle into the loops and be protected from predators. And amazingly, they only need one larvae to survive on each one of these for success.
There's a housing crisis in the Bay Area. That prompted us to say, well, here is an opportunity to think not only about how 3D printing might be able to respond to that housing emergency, but also it opens up the possibility for us to test novel materials and techniques.
We'll design a block or a tile or component and think about how those blocks and tiles aggregate together to make larger occupiable structures. We are now at the cabin of 3D printed curiosities. These are local materials. These dark brown tiles are printed out of Chardonnay that comes from Sonoma. The lighter brown tiles are printed out of sawdust, which comes from the Sierra Nevadas. And sometimes we recycle all of our materials together and print tiles out of a mixture of materials as well.
Whereas the front's made out of recycled and upcycled materials, the sides and the roof are made out of locally harvested ceramic. The beautiful thing is that they are like the tree bark starting to take on moss and lichen. We like that part of architecture. We like the way natural materials behave over time. The house is very much, I would say, a California house. It is a kind of vernacular. It's a really nice example of the way we think about the future by looking at the past.
Ultimately, we won't see the ceramic objects that we made, and we won't really care that they were 3D printed. All of that will become invisible. And I think that's the definition of success.